Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have some Monster High news to talk about. From the first episode of Battle of the Bands being released on YouTube, debuting Rebecca's character officially, interesting information on possible upcoming Greta SKULLECTOR doll coming in June, confirmation on Buried Secrets Wave 6 theming details, new stock photos on Fearbook Wave 2 dolls, Mattel Creations fan club polling vote for May being about possible future Manga SKULLECTOR collaboration, and more, so stay tuned, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype this video cuties, consider becoming a channel member today, link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, no pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the dollty you love. But for now, let's get into it. Okay, starting off, yes, we have a brand new episode of the new animated special here happening on YouTube called Battle of the Bands. The first episode just debuted on YouTube yesterday, basically, and it's essentially a couple of minutes long, I believe like 4 minutes long, and this first episode basically just introduces the whole plot of its currently like Monster High legacy exhibit at Monster High. Basically every character is holding a little like presentation on their legacy and what I guess they leave behind, or what they, you know, like just little presentations, really cute. And so they kind of go through some of the characters and what they're presenting, and they do so, of course, while dancing, while singing. And I do have to say, I'm not a fan usually of like the Monster High songs, and like, you know, Mattel songs usually are not like amazing, but the song in this episode is kind of catchy. I like it. And especially when we get to Rebecca's part, she basically has her own solo, and I love Rebecca's like part here of the song. It's so soft and airy, and it's like delicate but still like kind of edgy, and I don't know, maybe it's just very like vanilla music, but I like it. It's very cute pop music. But essentially this is setting up Rebecca as a new character in Monster High. This is her official debut, so yeah, very exciting. And we haven't seen Rebecca otherwise than in her doll release and her artwork, so it's very exciting that she's finally here, you know, being used in the episodes. And I'm assuming that, you know, it's because it's her device that she's working on for the exhibit. It's her device that triggers this whole like time travel thing where the Battle of the Bands event comes back to Monster High, essentially. And so she is definitely going to be playing a larger focused role in this animated special. Now this is again the first episode, so meaning how many episodes will they have for this entire storyline? I'm not really sure, but I think at least like five episodes, or like 4, 5, 6. I don't think it would be like just short episodes, especially because the runtime of the first one here is again like 4 minutes. So I do think, judging by how short these episodes will seemingly be, you know, they're very bite-sized. So I do think we should get at least 6 or 5 episodes, or maybe even 10 if we're lucky. But it does seem like more of like a shorter kind of like storyline that they might be able to resolve like relatively quickly. Of course, in this first episode, they only set up the plot and you know, like the mechanic and like the whole thing of the time travel thing happens in this first episode. So I'm assuming in the next episode we'll see the new characters get introduced, perhaps the villain, and then future episodes will of course elaborate. But yeah, I'm excited. I loved seeing Rebecca again. I also loved the music here, especially her solo was really nice. So I'm just happy to see this kind of like new elevated animation for Monster High, even if it is just kind of like more of the same. It still felt like a really nice quality animation, and all the characters looked amazing. So yeah, I'm excited. Next up, yes, we have a couple new stock photos for the Monster High Fearbook 2026 dolls second wave, including Laguna, Gulia, and Draculaura. Now we actually don't have more stock photos of Draculaura specifically, but we do have more stock photos of the other 2 ghouls. So let's begin here with Laguna. And I definitely thought she was kind of like one of the least interesting ones here in the second wave, but seeing these other stock photos, we can see she has really long hair. Like basically she's Rapunzel here. She's got straight long hair here in blonde with kind of like highlights of purple and teal mixed in. Really cute. We have her pink pants and the boots from the side do have like you can see they have a really chunky like heel. So I like that. The jacket looks nice on her. I like her makeup being a bit more darker and purple tones, right? Her freckles look nice. We have this like fishnet, but also like flowy sleeve situation. So I think overall Laguna surprised me. I didn't think I'd like her, but I do think there's definitely potential here with also her accessories being like a little octopus. You know, obviously she's into her Fearbook. You know, her hobby here basically in Fearbook is that she's doing aquamarine biology. Is that what you call it? So she's basically doing research on you know, sea creatures. So obviously that makes sense, and I love to see. But to no one's surprise, I do think that Gulya here definitely is the standout of the second wave of Fearbook dolls. She's the best one easily. And even when talking about G3 Gulya dolls overall released so far, there's only 4 in total, and I do think out of all 4, she's the most cohesive and she looks the best overall. Like her makeup, the hair, her outfit, like I do think she's probably the strongest one out of all 4. There's definitely other highlights that the other Gulyas bring, you know. I like the long hair from the core version. I like the Skulltimate Secrets Gulya. Like she has lots of really fun details. The Buried Secrets Gulya, love her face, but it's pixelated. This Gulya has separate layers of clothing. Her face is not pixelated. Her makeup is still giving. Her hair is short, but it's still straight and it has highlights. And I do think her outfit is just peak Gulya with the pants, the kind of like layered to look layered shirt with the fishnet underneath sleeve. Like, come on, I'm loving. I'm not sure if everyone agrees, but I like the pink with the red here of the pants. Like, I love that the helmet is like a brain texture. I mean, it makes sense. Like, it just makes sense. It's almost kind of like even a throwback to Gulya's helmet from the G1 motorcycle playset. You right? I'm pretty sure that's a reference. Or isn't it? Oh, isn't it Skulltimate's roller maze Gulya that has like a brain textured helmet? One of those two Gulyas has like a helmet that has a very similar kind of like brain texture to it. So I'm pretty sure that this version of Gulya having the same kind of looking helmet is like a reference to those previous designs, and it makes sense. So yeah, all in all, loving the face, loving the outfit. If I had one critique, it's that perhaps the eyebrows should have just been blue. I'm not sure why they cannot seem to get the eyebrows like right. They're always doing them either like green, blue, or brown, and I don't feel like any of them look good. So they have to figure out a better solution. Maybe gray, you know, maybe like a deeper blue or something. I'm not sure, but overall, still, like, she's just gorgeous. She is Gorgina, definitely the highlight here. I already have Corgulya, but I don't know, I'm really tempted to get this one instead. Then we've got new stock photos for the upcoming Little Frights Fearbook Minis potion bottle wave here. These common pairs of 2, we've got a pair of between Laguna and Abby, and they have like paint splatter all over. Then we have the Werecat twins, Persephone and Meowlity, and they look really cute. They're kind of like in their core signature look here. This is their debut Little Frights figurine versions of themselves. I would really love it if Mattel just could do new, like, full-on Werecat Twins dolls, because the only other dolls from the Werecat Twins are exclusive to the Hisfits 3-pack, and that pack is just expensive and really hard to find, at least for me here in Europe. So yeah, I would just love it if they could do some kind of like rerun or re-release of the Werecat Twins, but just as a 2-pack, because that would be amazing. Anyway, wishful thinking, and then we've also got, Draculaura and Heath. How come not Claude? Well, I guess because Draculaura Heath, they're kind of like in a, I guess their Fearbook activity is, drama club or something, or filming and stuff. That's cool. And then also we have Twyla and Ferenki, and I guess they have a Fearbook activity like gaming or like, I don't know, board games. So yeah, anyway, these are cute pairs. I think they look good, but the Werecat twins for sure eat. And speaking of little things here, we have new stock photos of the new additions for Monster High G3's keychain assortment here. These are of the pets from Claude and Abby, Roxana and Shiver, right? So these are their new terrarium little keychain things that you can like build yourself. These are really cute. They're again like little terrarium display dioramas, and these are really fun additions for sure. Do you collect any of these? Next up, we have a first real-life look at one of the Moonspell Magic dolls. Here is Willow Thorn. Apparently these pictures were found from an eBay listing here from a reseller, so wow, amazing. But this is how she's gonna look like whenever you do purchase her. This is the finalized version of Willow Thorn, you know, fully produced, and wow, she looks really cute, the face, the outfit, but the main thing here that sticks out to me, I think you can guess what it is. It's the hair. What is going on? The hair looks so messy. It's like so poofed out and frizzy looking. The hair is supposed to be a little bit wavy on Willow, you know, from the stock photos, but here in the packaging, it looks like it's almost like a really curly texture. So I am very curious to see like what the hair situation is going to be like once you actually remove her from the packaging, because here again in the box picture of her, it looks messy. It looks like it just wants to be like super frizzy and stuff, so I'm worried that the hair is just gonna be so bad quality. But yeah, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. At least the face is really adorable. I hope she has saran hair, and just that maybe this specific Willow has bad hair, but maybe all the rest will have really nice soft, you know, like a bit not as messy hair, because this just looks so messy. But what do you think? What's your first impression of this Moonspell Magic real life picture? Then we have new stock photos for the Monster High G3, formerly known as Monster Races Wave 2. These are kind of like the budget dolls. We've got Cleo, Draculaura, Frankie, and Claudine. Once again, no Laguna. Perhaps you will be added to this wave later on. Really weird how sometimes they leave out Laguna, but other times they don't. I don't know. It would seem like Laguna is one of the more popular characters because she's pink now, but maybe that's not true. Anyway, they chose Cleo here over Laguna to include in this first wave. And yeah, we've had stock photos of the packaging previously, but these are now we have new stock photos, one for each of them out of the box, and they look good. The fabrics look nice, and I'm surprised by how the shoe molding is so fun. Like all of them seem to have kind of like short or higher looking boots. Well, you know, Cleo is not wearing boots, but you know, they're high shoes. So I'm honestly loving the shoe molding here. And I do think these are, yeah, new shoe molds, right? So these are not reused. And I think also the purses and perhaps the belt for Cleo, like those are new accessories. So overall, really strong. And I'm also loving the makeup. So yeah, what do you think? Next up, we have information on the 6th wave for Buried Secrets. It has been revealed who is in the lineup here. It will include Laguna, Draculaura, Cleo, and likely Venus as well will be in this 6th wave. And the theming, it has been confirmed to be swimwear or like beach wear. So basically we're talking bathing suits, 2 pieces, etc. This is very exciting because the only other Monster High G3 line that we've had that has kind of like swimwear has been in Scared Ice Island, and that was also specifically more tropical, kind of like themed because of the setting from that line. So here I do think we're gonna have to imagine a bit more of like a laid back approach to like swimwear. Perhaps they will be mostly wearing one-piece bodysuits here, bathing suits, and maybe it'll just, I mean, obviously the details will be definitely printed on. I do hope that just even if the bathing suits are like one piece and very simple, maybe they're able to add in a bit more detail with some frills or maybe like a wrap around the hips or like a towel. Actually, come to think of it, I'm pretty sure they will probably include a towel for each character because like that just makes sense. Maybe even if it's not like a full body size towel, it'll be like a small towel. Or maybe they can include bandanas or like water bottles or maybe goggles, you know, like swim caps would be really fun. There's a lot of potential here with the theming of like swimwear. So I do hope that they just are able to, even if the bathing suits themselves are simple, I think there's still many ways where you can like accessorize a bathing suit to make it look a bit more like cutesy and complete. So hopefully the accessories really come through here with this 6th wave, and more first and foremost as well, hopefully they're just able to give the face greetings better quality, not so pixelated, and perhaps they can use Saran for the characters here and not Polly. Yeah, anyway, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but the lineup is promising, the theming is promising. Let's hope for the best. Moving on to G1 updates here. Yes, the Shorty's Collector release happened last week, and then they had the announcement of restocks, and the restocks happened, I believe, a couple days ago, like last week as well. How did it go? How was it for you with the restocks on Amazon Mattel Creations? So the restock on Mattel Creations, apparently it will only be shipped out by next year, which is weird because the restock on Amazon, it ships out like June. So for sure, you should just buy Shorty on Amazon so you don't have to wait a year. It's crazy. So I'm not really sure why they have this really weird distribution where if you buy her on Amazon, if she's still available on Amazon, I'm not sure. Again, she should be shipped out by June, but if you do the pre-order on Mattel Creations, which again, I'm not sure if it's still available, you have to wait a whole ass year. So, or yeah, that's what? This entire drop for Shorty to me is just, it's how bizarre, like why does Mattel do this? Make it so weird, make it so messy, and like, just what? Just release the damn doll in stores. Like, just do it wide release. She was supposed to be a wide release, but it's almost weird because she's not available in Smith's Toys or like Target, right? She's only on Amazon and Mattel Creations. So it's not the same like with Corpse Bride or Coraline, where those two really were also in store available. No, this Shorty one is like only Amazon and in Mattel Creations. So I'm not sure what's going on, but let me know what your experience was like purchasing this doll or doing the restock on Amazon or again on Mattel Creations. Yeah, let me know what you think. Next up, the voting for May on Mattel Creations for fan club members is live right now, and the voting is about possible, they're inquiring basically about if there's interest for Monster High collaborations with manga anime shows or comics storylines, right? And so this is very exciting. Apparently there's a possible future out there where Monster High SKULLECTOR might be collaborating with your favorite manga or anime. So this is crazy, especially, because a lot of Monster High people, a lot of fans create customs of Monster High, characters based on like Junji Ito characters, right? So I do feel like a Junji Ito collaboration with Monster High would be peak. That would be perfection. Especially, oh my god, what's her name? The character with the two faces, So I do think like a SKULLECTOR doll of that character would be crazy. It would be crazy. So it would be perfect though. It would make perfect sense. So again, I'm flaking on the name, but it's such an obvious Tomei, right? Tomei. That's her name. I think they gotta make a doll of that character. But other than like possible Junji Ito Monster High collaborations, what else could they do? Like when it comes to manga anime, I'm sure that there's plenty of manga anime that exist that would perfectly gel with Monster High. But what are some of your favorites that you think would be a perfect fit with Monster High for a SKULLECTOR collaboration? Again, this is just so exciting on so many levels. And let's not forget that in previous polls that they've done like this for Mattel Creations fan club members, they one time they also inquired about if there's interest for a possible Monster High collaborations with horror video games like Five Nights at Freddy's, Poppy Playtime, that kind of thing. So they've already inquired about this kind of like collaboration possible things in the future. So we might be getting Monster High SKULLECTOR Five Nights at Freddy's. We might be getting Junji Ito Monster High. Like this, these are all things that could happen because again, they have been inquiring about more and more different types of collaborations that Monster High fans, if they would like to see happen. So yeah, what do you think of this possible collaboration happening with manga, anime, different IP, what would you think is, again, a perfect fit? And lastly, we now have a new Mattel Creations calendar update for Monster High. It has been confirmed that on June 8th, we're getting a new Monster High drop on the website. Of course, we don't know what it could be yet, but at least we do have confirmed that there is going to be at least one drop in June for Monster High on Mattel Creations. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Apparently, there's been a lot of clues that could lead to the drop on June 8th being something related to Gremlins. Perhaps a new Greta Gremlin release, perhaps a re-release of the already designed doll, a reproduction, right? We're not really sure, but June 8th is the anniversary of the Gremlins movie. That's when the first movie initially came out all those years ago. And so it would make perfect sense for the drop on June 8th in June to also have something to do with Gremlins. Again, perhaps a new design, Greta Gremlin, perhaps a re-release, reproduction of the original Greta Gremlin doll. I'm not really sure. Maybe it could be Greta in her wedding gown. It could be, again, I feel like there's so many possibilities here. But also, we're not really sure what's actually going to be dropping on May 28th, which is in a couple of days. Of course, all of us are unanimously thinking it's probably Valentine's Belden, the 2-pack, Pride 2-pack, that's going to be releasing May 28th. And that is the rumor, that is the guess that a lot of us have, but confirmed is nothing yet, which is surprising because, again, we don't even have a teaser of what's happening, what's dropping on Thursday. We have nothing. Like, at least for Shorty, they had a teaser, you know, that happened like a week ago, the actual release. But now we don't even have a teaser of the drop for Thursday. So that is concerning. Is it even happening anymore? Like, I have a lot of questions, but so I'm very curious about what the drop will actually be on the 28th. Is it the Pride 2-pack? Is it something else? And is the June 8th SKULLECTOR release gonna be something to do with Greta Gremlin, a new dress, re-release of the original doll, or something entirely new for Gremlins, a new character inspired by, you know, Gizmo, perhaps, specifically? Who knows? But this is all definitely very interesting. And breaking news, this just in, I was about to close out the video, but we just received new stock photos of the Fearbook Wave 2 Draculaura doll. So here she is. Honestly, there's not much to say. I mean, we've had a Fearbook Draculaura doll before, and this is a new one, and she's all about photography here, which is cute. I do like how long her hair is. It's mostly pink, and just the bangs, you know, those are black, but the rest is all pink. So I like that. I think the makeup is darker and her eyes seem larger somehow. I love the lipstick and her accessories are cute. So she's a really fun addition, but I'm just not sure if she really justifies being here in the taking up a spot in the second wave of Fearbook. But she's cute, she's fine. But is she gonna revolutionize Monster High? No. I mean, it's a Draculaura doll. She's really cute. What do you think? Which one do you prefer? The first wave Fearbook or second wave? Anyway, that wraps up for today's Monster High news video. I hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype this video, cuties. Consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, to support that channel that way. No pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. I thank you also to all my currently subscribed members. I see you all and I appreciate you so much. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time stay peachy. Kisses.